Late one night in October of 2022, a little over a month after starting my freshman year of college, I met up with a guy I'd met through my college's Snapchat story in my dorm's lobby.
1 week before my junior prom, me, my two best girlfriends, one of their boyfriends, and one of my male best friends were sleeping over. We were drinking and smoking and having a chill night.
He seemed like a nice enough guy. That was until he insisted to come up and see my room. At first, I said I wasn't sure, but he was being pushy and started guilt-tripping me, so I reluctantly agreed.
In December of 2020, I finally had my first boyfriend. I thought I was in love. I went to his house and he started to touch me.
Me and my boyfriend at the time were extremely toxic. We would argue every day, and there was emotional, physical, and sexual abuse happening in my life from 8th grade to 10th grade.
I was trying to keep up with one of the guys and drink as much as he did. But me being a 5'6" female and him being a 6'3" male linebacker, alcohol hit us differently.
We talked for a little while, and then we mutually kissed. Everything was fine until he immediately started groping me and touching my breasts. I told him that I did not want to go too far and move that fast. He said that it was okay, but he continued to grope me.
He started to do things I didn't want. I did stuff to make him stop, but he never did. I broke up with him very quickly after that.
It was a vicious and suffocating cycle I felt as if I couldn't get out of. He would threaten to leave me and tell people things about me if I didn't send him exactly what he wanted to see when he wanted to see it.
I don't remember anything. I just remember waking up on my bathroom floor. I was covered in black bruises and bleeding. I had bruises in the shape of a hand around my neck.
I told him I was a virgin, and he just laughed and said, "I can change that." He tried to take off my pants, and I, again, moved his hands. Then he just got on top of me as I froze in place. I kept trying to get him to leave, and he kept making excuses. He kept on begging me to let him spend the night. I told him no multiple times, and he continued to beg until I told him that he needed to leave at 2:45 a.m.
In the fall, he passed away. I got 15 messages from people apologizing to me knowing I used to date him, saying how sorry they were for my loss.
When in person, he would try to make me do things I was uncomfortable with and tried to have sex with me when he knew I wasn't ready. When I refused, he would slap me or choke me and claimed it was just sexual, and he meant no harm by it.
I put on a hoodie and drove everyone to Walmart for a coffee, but I quickly spent all my emergency cash on a plan B.
Eventually, it hit 2:45, and I never felt more relieved than I did at that moment. I told him he needed to leave, and after practically pushing him off my bed, he got up. I immediately felt something awful in my stomach, and I texted one of my good friends at the time that I thought I had just been assaulted.
For the next week, I feared showering with the lights on, seeing my own body, or consuming any substance. When I finally gained the courage to confront my attacker, he blamed me.
He would call me degrading names, and he would make me say things to him that were degrading to myself. Experiencing this at the ages of only 13 through 16 was detrimental to my mental health and self-image.
I felt so much guilt. Guilt for not texting him back, guilt towards his mom because she was an amazing mother to him, and now she had to bury her child. It's hard to come to terms with this.
Healing has been a very difficult process, especially seeing the man who assaulted me walking around campus with no repercussions. One of the reasons I had transferred out of my school is because of the trauma I'd faced that had not been handled correctly.